Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Social Quiztancing, our little bit of trivia every week to keep your brain happy and healthy while the library is closed. So as usual, I'm going to bring you 5 general knowledge questions, 5 connections questions where I give you 4 apparently random clues and you have to tell me what the hidden connection is, and then 5 questions, actually we have more than 5 questions this week, in a bonus round, which this week was suggested by one of our viewers. So, let's get into it. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Give yourself a point for every right answer, and let us know how you're doing. Leave us a comment on this video or on our Instagram or Facebook feeds, or you can email Ryan at Desmond-Fish-Library.org. And if you have any quiz questions you'd like us to feature on the show or any ideas for our special round, feel free to let us know that as well. There is a thunderstorm outside, so if you hear some crashes, that's that. Okay, let's get into the general knowledge questions. Question number 1. Until 1913, food may have tasted radically different depending on how you ate. What changed? What was developed in 1913 that sort of stabilized the differences in the way that food would taste? Number 2. Acorns are the fruit of which tree? Number 3. Rapper Big Sean, dancer Ricky Alvarez, comedian Pete Davidson, and rapper Mac Miller are all referenced in the 2018 single Thank You Next by which artist? It's a bop. Like that song. Number 4. In September 2019, which actor admitted that he now turns down roles where his character dies as he thinks it's too predictable? So who no longer dies in movies because it's too predictable? And last general knowledge question, what was the last time all humans were on the planet together? If you can give me the exact date, give yourself like a lot of points. But just the year is fine, or the month in the year. Whatever you like. Okay, now we're gonna move into the connections round, where I give you 4 apparently random clues, and you tell me what the hidden connection is between those 4 clues. So if I gave you Scarab, Dung, Paul, and Ringo, you would tell me that those are all Beatles, right? Okay, so let's get into those questions. Number 1. Yellow, purple circle. Next one. Magenta, purple, blue. And we have blue, pink, white, pink, blue. And lastly, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. What connects those 4 clues? Okay. Question number 2. Return to the sea. Dreams come true. Journey to a New World, and Return of Jafar. Number 3 in our connections round. Dreadful Spiller, Pod, Homily, and Arietti. What connects those 4 things? Next. Washington, 317. Jefferson, greater than 600. Madison, greater than 100. And Adams, 0. What are those 4 things? And lastly, in our connections round, Kazaa, LimeWire, the Pirate Bay, and Napster. What are these all things? What connects those 4 clues? That's it for our connections round. And now for our final round this week, this was suggested by one of our viewers, Beth. Thank you for the suggestion. We are going to play Tolkien character or antidepressant. So I'm going to give you a list of things, and I'm actually going to give you 8 because it's just a like this or this kind of question. And you tell me whether this name is a character from the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, etc., or if it's the name of an antidepressant. Okay? Finarfin. Escalith. Amantadine. Narmacil. Sintamil. Sildenafil. Minalcar. And Elrenon. So for each of those, just tell me if it's a Tolkien character or if it's the name of an antidepressant. Okay. So in a moment, I'll read you the answers to these questions. If you don't want to know the answers yet, then stop the video and go somewhere else and come back to it later. If you'd like to hear the answers, then here we go. Okay, so the first thing I asked you was, until 1913, food may have tasted radically different depending on how you ate it. What changed? So the change is that in 1913, stainless steel is introduced as something for cutlery. So with everything else, previously you would eat with things like things that were made of iron, or things that were made of copper, or things that were made of brass or bronze. And each of those metals reacts to food differently. So, for instance, if you eat something with copper, if it's sweet, it'll taste twice as sweet if you eat something with a copper implement. And food, it tastes radically different depending on what you eat it with. Gold, of course, is neutral, and so that was considered the most authentic taste. But when stainless steel was introduced in 1913, suddenly that became standard for cutlery, and you could sort of reliably, when you were eating the food, not taste the cutlery, you'd be eating the food. That's what happened. Sheffield, I think, in the UK, is where stainless steel comes from, mainly, or did at that point. Actually, the developer of stainless steel was a socialist, so he had no patents within the UK for stainless steel, but outside of the UK did require patents for stainless steel. Next, I asked you, the acorns are the fruit of which tree? It is, of course, the oak tree. Acorns are a fruit. There you go. Next, rapper Big Sean, dancer Ricky Alvarez, comedian Pete Davidson, and rapper Mac Miller are all referenced in the 2018 single Thank You Next by, of course, Ariana Grande. Yep. Number 4, in September 2019, which actor admitted that he now turns down roles where his character dies as he thinks that's too predictable? It is the always dying Sean Bean. Famous for dying in his movies, he no longer chooses roles where he dies. All right, and the last one. When was the last time all humans were on the planet together? And that date is November 2nd, 2000. Since then, there's always been at least one person up in the International Space Station or on some sort of rocket mission or whatever. So The last time all humans were on the planet together was November 2nd, 2000. Okay, moving on to the connections round questions. The first one I gave you was yellow, purple circle, magenta, purple, blue, blue, pink, white, pink, blue, and red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Did you get this? This was, these are all pride flags. So these are the colors on pride flags going from top to bottom. So yellow flag with a purple circle in it is for intersex. Magenta, purple, and blue is for bisexuality. Blue stripe, pink stripe, white stripe, pink stripe, blue stripe is a transgender flag. And the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple is the traditional pride flag, sometimes seen with a black and brown stripe for BIPOC people. Inclusion at the top. Those are pride flags, colors and pride flags. Okay. Next, we have Return to the Sea, Dreams Come True, Journey to a New World, and Return of Jafar. And these are the subheadings for Disney direct-to-video sequels. So it's The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, Pocahontas 2, Journey to a New World, and Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar. Okay. Next one, you have Dreadful Spiller, Pod, Homily, and Ariadne. And these are characters from The Borrowers. Lovely book series, The Borrowers. Pod, Homily, and Ariadne are the Clock family, and Dreadful Spiller is another borrower that they encounter. Also, the wonderful movie, The Secret Life of Ariadne, Secret World of Ariadne. Next, you had Washington, 317, Jefferson, greater than 600, Madison, greater than 100, and Adams, 0. These are founding fathers and the number of enslaved people that they owned. So Washington owned 317 enslaved people, Jefferson more than 600, Madison more than 100, and both John Adams and John Quincy Adams never owned enslaved peoples. The last president to own enslaved peoples in office was Zachary Taylor, and the last person to have been president who had owned enslaved people at one time in their life was Ulysses S. Grant, who won for 2 years. And last one, we had Kazaa, LimeWire, the Pirate Bay, and Napster. They're, of course, all file-sharing services. Kazaa and LimeWire, sort of the tail end of the 90s, early 2000s. Pirate Bay, still going, and Napster, of course, Napster. Now, we come to our favorite round, Tolkien character or antidepressant. So I'll take you through them. Finarfin was a Noldoran elf of Valinor. So from Tolkien Middle-earth saga. Escalith is an antidepressant based on lithium. Amantadine is also an antidepressant that is additionally Parkinson's drug. Narmacil was the 17th King of Gondor. Sintamil is an antidepressant. Sildenafil is an antidepressant better known for its other use. That's Viagra. Minalcar was the 19th King of Gondor. And Elrenon was an antidepressant, marketed in India. Sounds very similar to Elrond of Rivendell, but no. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week, right back here, 6 o'clock on Wednesday, for another episode of Social Quiztancing. So have a wonderful week, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.